we cover the body of Science Officer Spock on the planet Genesis, where Klingons are trying to learn the secrets of the planet's speeded-up evolutionary process and use those powers for evil purposes. The film, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, opening across the country on June 1st. The man in charge of special effects for Industrial Light and Magic, Ken Ralston, who was presented with an Academy Award only a few weeks ago for his contribution to fantastic cinema through such previous projects as Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, and Return of the Jedi. Ken, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
About the Oscar. I was watching you that night. I was really rooting for you. How did it feel to go up there and receive the highest honor the movie business can present to its technicians?
Well, it was nerve-wracking. You know, you walk out there and you've got all these people, your peers, and all these actors and individuals I grew up watching, and they're all watching you, and I was very nervous. But I was also very proud and honored that they gave us the award.
I hear that your mother has the award right now. You're showing it to all of her friends and neighbors.
That's right. She's down there torturing everybody, you know, grabbing them off the street and making them look at it.
When did work on Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, really begin for you and ILM?
It was about a year ago. Actually, it was about this month, I believe. And we started, Nilo wrote us, started doing some pre-production design work on the show.
Were you doing some of the models then, sketches for the models? And
just a few. The story was still going through a lot of changes, so we had to wait a little while.
What was the first big major problem that you were faced with once you got into the thick of it?
Actually, the first one was we had to get prepared in time to shoot the plate photography down in LA when they were ready to shoot the live action, which is the live action footage that works with the effect shots that we're doing.
In other words, the effect shots had to already be finished so that they could map them with the live actors?
No, the live action had to be shot first, and then we add all the effects to those shots. And so I was in LA for about 2 months doing that, and then came back and started doing the rest of the show.
Just being in LA for 2 months can kill a man, huh?
It killed me.
How large a team did you work with this time?
It was probably about 80 people.
And was this basically the same group of people you worked with on Star Trek II?
More or less. It's the same crew that's been up here for about 5 years, really.
Has the Enterprise changed any? And the kind of hardware that we saw in Star Trek II, are we for pretty much the same kind of...
It's really the same. In fact, when you see it again, it's just coming back from Genesis, so it's rather beat up.
I see. So it really picks up where the other film left off.
It really does.
You've brought about 6 models tonight, and we're going to start with these 3 that we have up here with us. This is a Klingon pet.
Yeah.
This is what every Klingon wants to have at the house, you know, and keep the neighbors away.
And this is a design I came up with just to add another dimension to the Klingons. It's just a mascot that's on board the Bird of Prey, which is the Klingon ship. And I tried to design it with...
Now, do we see this creature animated in the film?
Yeah, it's actually a full-size puppet in the show. It's about the size of a Doberman Pinscher, I guess. And just tried to make it as vicious as the Klingons really are.
Yeah, well, it certainly looks like one of my neighbors rather than a neighbor's dog.
And it's called Fifi, which is a pretty scary name. You know, Klingons like scary names for their pets.
Yeah, okay. Now, what are these ships over here? We've got a little space hardware here.
Yeah, this is the... let me pick this thing up. This is a prototype that was done early on to show Leonard and Harv and the people just one of the designs for a new version of the Federation spaceship. It's like the next model up from the Enterprise. And they return to space dock, and this is what they find parked in there, which is a much more sleek and more efficient ship than the Enterprise
was. And it's easier for you to photograph, too.
Yes, it's a better designed ship than the Enterprise was, and it has a lot better angles on it and better dynamics to it than the other ship. And it was about 7 feet long, the real model.
Now, you have a space dock that orbits the Earth in the film.
This, again, is a prototype that was designed to help the guys see a three-dimensional model instead of just drawings. It's easier to decide on what they like or dislike about it. This shows you the scale of the Enterprise next to it. And it's orbiting the Earth. This is where the Enterprise returns, and they are going to, they think, fix it up there and get it back into the flying mode, but
well, Ken, you've got 3 more models, but let's hold those. We'll tease the audience along a little bit here. We'll go back to some more scenes from Black Sunday. Then when we come back, we'll talk more about the making of Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. Okay?
Okay.
Great. My guest tonight is Ken Ralston, Oscar-winning special effects supervisor from Industrial Light and Magic of San Rafael. Ken, a little while ago you were showing some of the models, and we have some more here, but first, it seems to me that Paramount and ILM have worked out a line of communication whereby they can get a complicated film like Star Trek III made with the minimum amount of problems. Is that true?
Yeah, the communication between Paramount and us right from the start was very good, and our participation started so early on there weren't any surprises, or at least not too many surprises, as the effects were going on, because a lot of times you get involved into a big project like this, and any small thing in the beginning that's overlooked will build and build until finally it becomes a major problem later on.
Who do you work the closest with from Paramount? Is it Harv Bennett, or is it other liaison between...
That would be Harv Bennett, Leonard Nimoy, of course, and Ralph Winter.
Did Leonard have a lot of input into this
oh, yes.
in terms of its special effects?
Oh, yeah. And again, we had some meetings very early on, and everyone was involved. Their cinematographer was involved, and a lot of the people down there came up for the meetings, and it really helped.
Okay, let's take a look at your Klingon captain here.
Okay, well, this is a stop-motion model of Krug, who's the main Klingon commander. It was built by Dave Sasala and Tom Sanamon, and
now
fully armatured.
This particular model was actually animated in a sequence toward the end of the film, an action sequence?
Yes, there's a battle taking place on Genesis, which some shots were done with this puppet instead of the real actor. And it's supposed to be Christopher Lloyd in makeup. Actually looks like him. And foam rubber. And
this is Christopher Lloyd after a few of those cannibals got through with the head shrinkers. How about the Enterprise there?
No, this is another Federation ship. It's called the
This is not the Enterprise.
No. This is, actually, I'll start with the prototype again. This was built to show Leonard and Harv a design. This is probably one of 5, just to get their their reaction to the ship. This is really a floating laboratory that is around Genesis.
I see.
And after the prototype is built, then we built the real model, which I couldn't bring many of the other models because they're usually about 8 feet long for this show. But this is the actual model used in the show.
You get a good look at the top there.
It heads fully.
The USS Grissom.
Grissom. And it has lights in it that these cords are rigged to get hooked up to. And some rocket lights and a few other odds and ends. Plus, we shoot all the Federation ships, continuing what Doug Trumbull did in the first one with a lot of the little spots on the logos and around the ship. It helps with the scale. Ken,
compared to Star Trek II, was Star Trek III harder or just as hard?
It was
a little
harder
easier?
Because there's a much more different array of effects in the show. There's the space aspect of it, which we've got that down pat, I think, shooting that stuff, but there were a lot of miniatures that are done, destruction sequences, and a lot of matte paintings that were pretty hard to do. Again, what we keep trying to do on these shows is push ourselves a little farther and get just a little bit better, and I think we did.
Okay, well, we'll be seeing the film very soon, and I know the fans out there are all going to be looking forward to seeing your work again. And no doubt you'll be collecting another Academy Award somewhere along the line here.
Well, I'll try.
I hope. I know you're on vacation right now, and you've kind of been away from the office a little bit. Do you have some idea what you might be working on next? Is there anything you can tell us about?
A project called Cocoon that Ron Howard is getting involved in right now, that 20th Century Fox is doing. And that's really about all I can say about it, but it looks like a real good project.
Great. Well, thanks for coming by again, Ken.
Well,
and
thank
good
you.
luck, and good luck to Star Trek and all those great special effects.
Well,
I know everybody's looking forward to them. Okay, let's go back now to the conclusion of Black Sunday. When I return, we're going to meet Mr. Martin Rosen, and we're going to find out about 2 dogs who are on the loose.